am excited to welcome you all to the Sales Insight Actions user group today. We have an awesome lineup of speakers from Adobe's product team. And I just want to encourage you all, if you are not already, to subscribe to the Adobe Deep Dive mug. The Deep Dive mug covers important product releases and new features that are coming to market. So I encourage you all to subscribe, and I've linked that in the chat. Without further ado, I'm passing it over to the product team. I'm excited to kick this off and also encourage you all to post questions in the chat, and we will make sure to address as many of them as we can in this session. So over to you, Ambika.
Thanks, Kelsey. Hi, everyone. I'm Ambika Shetty, and I am a senior product manager from the Marketo Engage team. And my primary area of focus over the last couple of years has been Marketo Sales Insight and now Sales Insight Actions. So I'm very excited to give you all an overview of the feature set itself, which we released quite recently, and also dive into a product demo. So feel free to pause at any point to ask questions or add comments. So very happy to hear from this team specifically. So as we start looking at the world of sales and marketing in today's tech stack, marketing insights, sales engagement, sales intelligence, and the CRM are somewhat disjointed. So Marketo Engage brings a lot of these together, and Sales Insight brings them together even more. But there's one piece that's still disjointed for several organizations, and that's sales engagement. This often results in key BDR or other outbounding activities kind of being left out of the fold. So with Sales Insight Actions, we are bringing our sales engagement capabilities even more into the fold by weaving them into our sales and within the CRM experience. So taking a look at what we have currently. So Marketo Sales Insight is a tool that generally helps align your sales and marketing teams. MSI makes it easy for sales reps to direct their time and energy towards a lead that's most likely to close. And marketing can ensure that a high quality of leads are being pushed on to the sales teams. So with core sales insight capabilities, reps are quickly able to take actionable insights on which account they should be reaching out to, which contacts happen to have the best bets, engage with them across the board. So and this was something that's been around for a while now and one of our most popular features. So with our Insights dashboard, which was released a couple of years ago, reps were able to get visibility into marketing activities, both in the past as well as upcoming activities. And this allows for reps to make suggestions or directly add customers to prospects and campaigns. And now, by bringing sales engagement capabilities into the MSI fold, we are bringing 3 to 4 core pillars into a single tool, and all of this is within the CRM itself. So let's take a look at what these are. So we've known that Sales Insight has long been a table stake tool for sales as well as marketing, with its ability to provide key insights to sales in order to drive effective engagement, while allowing marketing to provide a greater visibility into their demand gen efforts. So the direction of Marketo sales application is bridging that gap between insights and actions in order to drive more revenue. And our goal has always been to ensure that reps don't have to leave their primary workspace to accomplish this, which is the CRM. So we know that it's important to keep sales focused on what is needed and remove any noise that's not required. So now, as we started looking at bridging the gap between insights and providing sales, the customer engagement touch points that they need to have knowledge about, we made significant investments to introduce new workflows to facilitate sales prospecting needs, as well as accelerate your team's inbound and outbound effectiveness. And while there are several other tools that offers very similar functionalities, we have uniquely brought together sales and marketing tools of engagement to provide an experience that both marketers and sellers give full visibility into each other's team's touch points. So with this, we are introducing Sales Insight Actions, These are new actions that help sales through the entire buyer journey. It includes multi-step sales engagement campaigns, one-click email templates, an integrated sales dialogue, as well as a task management system. So let's take a look at each one of these features in a little more detail level. So first up, we have our multi-step sales engagement campaigns. You might have heard of this as sales playbook or a sales cadence. So through this feature, sellers will have access to sales playbooks curated specifically for them. These can be shared with specific teams like East Coast or APAC and so on. It also includes a cadence of emails as well as tasks that sellers can leverage to engage with prospects and ensure that the leads that are coming through the marketing funnel is essentially not dropped off their radar. Next up, we have our one-click sales email templates. So sellers can choose from a set of personalized templated sales emails, or they can even create their own custom emails with sales signature. And in addition to view and click tracking that exists today, these also include reply tracking if it's connected to an Outlook or Gmail delivery channel. So these templates, similar to the campaigns, can be shared with either specific teams or curated for specific sellers, so they're able to amplify their prospecting efforts. Next up over here, we have our integrated dialogue with recording. So SDRs and AEs will now have the ability to place calls within the Salesforce CRM itself. And all of this information is going to be logged back into the CRM panel to support rep insight as well as growth. So the recordings will include the ability to plug in notes, outcome, as well as a clip of the entire recording itself. We also have some additional features like local presence that can be used. So they'll never miss a beat when it comes to making sure they have all our insights right in place. Next up over here, we have our task management system. So we are bringing together the ability to add tasks, and these can be added either as a part of a sequence. So a sales campaign includes reminders to maybe place calls or send out emails, or it can also be created as one-off tasks so the sales reps don't lose sight of something they might have to do maybe 1 or 2 weeks out. So we have a global tab for tasks just to make sure that we have a singular place of task management for all our reps. So given that we have our Marketo power users on this call, I'm sure at this point you're wondering, hey, like what happens to all this information? Is it going to be logged back in or whatnot? So every single one of these activities that are highlighted will be logged back into the lead record within the Marketo system. And in addition to this, we have also introduced some filters and triggers that correspond to each one of these activities, which you can see over here on my screen. So you're able to use this maybe to as a filter or a trigger step in your smart list, or you can also add any of this additional information to support the interesting moments going forward. So there's true marketing and sales alignment and insight into each other's team's outbound efforts. I know there was a lot of features. Are there any questions I can answer before I dive into a quick demo?
I don't see any questions currently listed in the chat, but feel free to come off mute if you have a question right now.
Is this available currently, or is this rolling out with the next release?
So this is available right now, and I can plug in our landing page as well as an email that you can reach out to. So once you reach out to us, we will enable it in your subscription for you.
Thanks.
Sure. So I can take the first one over here. Is a direct competitor to Outreach? And my answer over there is no, it's not. Outreach is a point solution that offers a level of feature set to enable sales teams when you have hundreds of sellers who are working on a very focused prospecting effort. This, on the other hand, offers a level of marketing and sales alignment. So this will include features, sorry, so this is going to include a feature set that makes it easy for your marketing team to enable sellers and the sales team to have complete insight into the marketing funnel. And all of this would be available within the MSI panel itself. And it would not include any additional charge. So there's the entire cost aspect of it as well. And the next question over here is around dynamics. So we just released this feature about 3 months ago. So based on customer interest as well as adoption of the feature set, we would definitely like to take a look at including this in the dynamics package as well. Can this be implemented across multiple workspaces in an instance? So the entire MSI Actions feature set is going to be contained within Salesforce, as well as all the features that, for example, if you have templates and sales campaigns, this will be built out in a completely different workspace. So you have complete control over what you want to share, independent of the workspaces. And unlike MSI, where the onus is on you to make sure that you have the right amount of usage, with MSI Actions, you can invite a very specific set of users to get started with these kind of features. I don't see any other questions coming in. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again to do the demo. And through the demo as well, feel free to ask questions or put it in the chat and we can address them. Right. And just a quick note as I'm going through the demo, even though I'm demoing this in Salesforce Classic, this is available. Every single one of these features are available in Classic as well as Lightning. It's just that I've been used to using Classic for a while now. So let's say I am a sales rep, and as a sales rep who's very comfortable using MSI, I'm probably handed over a list of contacts. And as I start going through each one of these contacts, I look into my MSI panel to check if there's any sort of engagement based on which I can start reaching out to them. So in this case, when I come into Diego's contact layout within my Salesforce instance, I notice that this week there has been no engagement. However, a couple of weeks ago, a few emails were sent out, as well as last week there was a call as well as an email activity. So I begin to wonder, maybe this is a great time to start getting in touch with Diego. So rather than sending out a marketing email, which was curated generally by the marketing team to support the marketing efforts, now I have the ability to send out a sales email, which could be curated for me by the marketing team. So I know that my messaging is going to be on point when I send out the sales email. So from my drop down over here, I'm going to click on send sales email, which is going to populate a compose window. And this is going to include several templates that are created for me by my marketing team or my sales manager, based on which I can figure out the best template that I want to use. So let's say I want to send out a demo invite to this individual since he's already engaging with the marketing content for the last couple of weeks. So I can add all of this information here, or I can also maybe plug in my Calendly link to make sure the invite goes through quickly and I can start scheduling these demos. And then I go ahead and hit send. So once this email is sent, like I was previously mentioning, in addition to being able to see view as well as click tracking, once this email is logged and the prospect maybe responds to it, I'll also be able to see reply tracking. And this reply is also tracking information will also be logged in Marketo. So you as a marketer can also see that, okay, there is a specific lead that went through the MQL and was handed over to sales. They were able to get in touch with this person. And the best part is that they're actually engaging with them right now as we speak. So now that I have engaged with Diego, I begin to wonder hey, is there anyone else from his account that I should reach out to? Has there been any account level activity? And I see that, again, there's nothing happening this week. So maybe since if there's one individual from the account engaging with us, I should probably start reaching out to see anyone else from the account might be interested. So the first thing I can do is just scroll back over here to see if there's any sort of engagement from the account level. And I noticed that a few months ago, there were other individuals in the account who seemed to be interested. So I see that there's Jesse who seems to have received an email, as well as Laurie over here. So I decided now is a great time to go into their account level information and see what's happening. So again, within Salesforce, I am going to go into Diego's account, and I see that there is some level of engagement on an account level. So now, rather than sending off one-off sales emails to this account, it's a great time to leverage our sales campaign feature. So over here, I can pick and choose a specific campaign that I want to add my prospects to based on how far along they are in their prospecting journey. So over here, since I'm in an account level, it's automatically going to add everyone from the account into this window that you're seeing here. And then I'm going to click on my new prospect campaign, hit next. I'm able to see the information over here. I can also see how if I happen to have any tokens or dynamic fields, I can click into each one of these and see what those fields look like. And once I'm comfortable with that, I'll go ahead and hit next. I have the option of starting this right now, or I can also schedule it at a later point in time. Maybe no one wants to receive an email on a Friday evening, so I can schedule it to go out first thing Monday morning. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit start over here. And once that's done, I will be navigated back to my account level page layout. So once I'm here, let's say these emails get logged or there's any sort of response, I will be able to see that in the traditional MSI panel as emails that are being logged with additional activities over here as well. So as I continue my day-to-day activities as a seller, one of our most popular features is our best bets page. So I'm going to go into my Marketo tab and then just start looking at my best bets page to see if there's anyone over here that I need to get in touch with. So one of the cool things that we introduced in the recent past is the ability to take actions right here from the Marketo Global tab. So if I happen to find somebody who's engaged and who happens to have a high engagement score over here, rather than going into Jane Smith's account, I can quickly send out an email from here or add her to a campaign or even place a sales call. So as I start thinking like, oh, is this the right time to place a sales call and place a sales call, I begin to wonder when would be the best time to do this. So we have something known as a live feed. And when I click on it, yeah. So when I click on it, this is going to open up a live feed that I can just dock on my window right here as I continue using maybe, I'm going to navigate to Outlook, my Slack, check some emails and whatnot. So I can just have this window right here docked on my screen to make sure I don't miss out on any activities. So I can see that, there has been some level of activity one day ago from Jane Smith, couple of someone's viewed my email in the last hour. And then I noticed that Tom, who I've been trying to actively reach out to, read my email just 35 minutes ago. So I know that he's engaging with content that's been sent out. So rather than sending out yet another email or adding him to a campaign, now is a great time to get in touch with him. So what I can do is hit this call button right here, which is going to open up my call window. And then I'm going to plug in my phone number. I'm just going to call myself for this, but I also have the option of recording this call. And once that's done, I'm going to hit call right here. So as I am on a call with Tom, I can add in some notes that says needs deep tech information or something along those lines. And then I can choose the reason why I call this person, because let's say he maybe filled out a form or asked for a specific demo and so on. And the outcome can be either I was able to book the demo or there was no answer and so on. So all of this is great insight when I hand over this rep to as an SDR, when I hand this over to my AE. So now the account executive already has all of this information available. And then I'm going to hit log call. And the best part is that once this is done, this will also be logged back into your Marketo instance. So as a marketer, you can see yet again that your sales team is engaging with an individual that you thought was a very promising marketing qualified lead. So, and this call functionality would be available from your Best Bets page, as well as from the contact layout that I was previously on. So we've tried to make it very easy for folks to access all of the new features. And last but not the least, we also have the ability to create tasks. So going back to Diego, so let's say that now that I've sent out a sales email and then I have also added his entire account into a sales campaign, I just want to put a reminder for myself that if there's no engagement, I want to make sure I come back over here and maybe send out a reminder email to check in on how things are going. So over here, I can come in and hit add task, and I can create a task for myself. In this case, let's say I just want to send out a reminder email 2 weeks from now. So I'm just going to say send reminder email, and then I can change the date to be out by 2 weeks and then go ahead and create it. So once this is done, I'm going to be able to see my task in the upcoming events section. So over here, I can see there are a couple of tasks that I haven't completed previously, but if there are new tasks, I will be able to see them as an upcoming task. So let's say I change this out to just open and hit apply. Once the task is due, let's say on the 14th of September, I'm going to see it as overdue, but for the time being, I'll just see it as an open task. And this feature set is available on lead, as contact, account, as well as opportunity level. It's an expansion of something that we brought in a couple of years ago around upcoming marketing campaigns and events. So now we'll be offering upcoming sales campaigns as well as tasks. There is one last feature I wanted to highlight around governance, but before we dive into that, are there any questions that I can address?
I do see a couple in the chat, so let me scroll up and we can go in order. The first one is, are sales emails created in Salesforce or Marketo?
So the sales email will be created in a different web application which you will have access to. So you can access it either within Marketo itself, sorry, within Salesforce, or you can navigate to the web app outside of Salesforce and access it from there. So let me just go ahead and open. Um, so we will be bringing in a new outbox over here, which is called MSI Sales Outbox. And when I come in over here, I'll be able to see this whole new interface where when I can, as a either as a Salesforce admin, a sales manager, or a marketer, I can create my templates over here with this simple interface where I can create a template, add it. So if you already happen to have something of a template that you want to use, you can copy and paste it here. So, and once that's done, it would look something along these lines. So you can always edit it and update it over here. You can share it with specific team members. I know this has been a common gripe among MSI customers that you cannot share specific templates with, like a focused group and so on. So that's an option that's available here. And it's something quite similar for campaigns as well, where I can go ahead and create a new campaign, add it to a specific folder, and I can share either this folder or the entire campaign with an individual or a team. So in this case, let's say I'm going to go into my sales campaign folder. And once I'm here, this is the campaign that's running right now. So I have the option of just seeing who are all the people who are engaging with this campaign right now, or I can share it with, like right now, I've just shared it with my sales team. I can share it with my AE team and go in and hit share. So they will also have access to it. And I'll be able to set all of this up within the Salesforce CRM itself.
Awesome. Another question we received is, how is send sales email different from send Marketo email?
So send Marketo email is curated within the Marketo interface. And as a seller, I have no insight into, like why has this email been created or why has this specific email shared with me. For example, we've had instances where there is a global branding email which was maybe meant for just the North America team, but it was shared with everyone across, like APAC and ANZ as well. So first and foremost, with sales emails, you can share it specifically with your teams. And secondly, in addition to being able to remain on marketing, branding, and messaging, as a seller, once I have these templates, I am able to customize these and share them with my very focused prospecting efforts. And the best part is, in addition to view and click, for sales teams, reply tracking is of utmost importance. And that's a feature set that's only available within our sales emails. However, let's say as a marketing team, you're a little anxious, you don't want everyone to create their own templates. You can also disable this feature such that sellers are only able to use the templates that you share with their teams and so on. So we do offer a higher level of governance through the sales emails and campaigns, as well as calls. It kind of goes, I guess, into the last piece over here. So let's say as a team, you're not quite comfortable with enabling your sales team with so many features right off the bat. So what we've done is in the MSI configuration tab, there's actions settings over here where you can enable or disable any of the new features that are being offered up right now. So you can choose to say like, hey, I don't want my sales team making these calls or adding folks to campaigns, or let's say you've enabled sales emails, you don't want them sending out marketing emails as well. So you can disable that. So maybe you can start slow by enabling a couple of features before you enable the entire like feature set that we are offering.
Great. The next question is a call recipient alerted if a call is being recorded?
So there are a couple of governance features around call. So I believe call recipient alert is an automated message that plays, and this is mandatory, I think, based on some GDPR rules. And you can either use the out-of-the-box messaging that we offer, or you can update it based on your company preference and use that version instead.
Great. Any auto translation of speech on call to text for notes?
Oh, interesting. Unfortunately, we don't have auto translation available today, but um, that's a great user case. Definitely something to look into. Kelsey, if you don't mind, I would love to get the email ID of the individual who asked for this question so we can dive a little deeper into that use case.
Yeah, I can definitely let you know after.
Thank you.
All right, Rebecca wants to know, how do MSI action tasks differ from Sfdc tasks?
So I would say they're quite similar in nature. It's just that MSI actions tasks will be logged back into the MLM system, and it'll be available for the sellers as well within the MSI panel. So they are engaging and operating out of a single point of contact versus having to use multiple tools. In fact, MSI tasks are also logged back into the activity history section, so you can pick and choose what you want to use. So we have open tasks over here, which you can use or choose not to use them as well. And in addition to these tasks, we also have the ability to log activities in the activity history section, which is something that you can choose to enable or disable. And if you do choose to add them, you can see if someone is engaged with your email, views, clicks, campaigns. So there is an additional layer of functionalities that's available, and all the setup can be done by an admin without any heavy lifting by the sales users.
Great. Shay would like to know, will we be able to see if email is delivered and opened?
Yeah, this is actually a functionality that's been a part of MSI for quite some time now. So when you go into the email tab, there is a feature which where you can just open up the entire go-to list where you can see whether it's delivered, bounced, or basically not, there is no interaction at all. I think I have a slightly different package right now, but this is a feature set that's available today, which unfortunately, I think I plucked out that button, but I can share that document with you so you have some insight there. So you don't even need MSI actions for it. It's available within MSI also.
Okay, I'll make sure to make note of that for Shay. Linda wants to know, are there controls of number of contacts that can add to campaign/send email at once? Thinking about spam law, compliance, and risk.
So the maximum number of contacts that you can add is 200. But in addition to that, you can also lock down the number of sorry, let me just go into the UI so I can show you real quick what that looks like. So when I go into my settings tab over here, I have general settings where I can include block domain. I can also add the daily number of emails that the team can send as a whole. So anyone who's using it, I can also pick and choose the maximum number of campaigns individual can be added to, and the maximum number of contacts that can be a part of a campaign is 200.
Great. And the last one I see in the chat is from Anna, and she wants to know, is the call capability included in the MSI license, or does the customer need to integrate a dialer tool?
So we will integrate the dialer tool on our end. And if you have an MSI license, you are eligible to upgrade to MSI actions, and we will offer the dialer along with that. So you don't need to do anything on your end for it.
Awesome. And we did receive one more question from Rebecca. She wants to know, how do the various integrations work? HighSpot, Box, Slack, etc.
So these are mostly available within your Compose experience itself. This is something that we are still fine-tuning. So if you have HighSpot enabled, when you open the Compose window, it will be available as an additional option here. And then you can pick and choose content from there that you can plug into your Compose experience. So if you happen to be writing out an email, you can add it in there. Same with Box. This is something that we're going to deprecate soon because we don't see a solid use case around this. But previously, we had the ability to create a new channel in Slack. So every time a rep closes a deal, it sends out an automatic notification.
All right, we are receiving great questions in the chat. Anna wants to know, can you show us how the playbook's created?
Yeah, sure. So when I'm in my Marketo Sales Outbox and then I go into a specific just the campaign window, I'm going to create a new campaign and let's call it Sales Prospecting. And I can pick and choose the folder that I want it to be in. So I'm just going to hit Sales Campaigns, or you can even create a new folder for yourself. And once that's done, I'm going to be automatically taken to my setup page over here. And over here, I can choose between the ability to add either an email, call, a LinkedIn step, or just a custom task. So let's pick email in this case. So now, as a marketer or as a sales manager, I can choose from a template, any template that I've created recently, or I can just freehand the whole thing and write out an email. So I'm going to choose a template that I've been using quite extensively, even though it has 0 click and view rate right now. So go ahead and select that. And once that's done, I have several options available over here where the send option is either I can send it at a specific time or create a task and so on. But let's just say I don't want to choose any of. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose add step. So once I've added this, I can add multiple steps within the same day, or I can add maybe something that happens 7 days later where I want to send out another email. So this could just be follow-up email, and then I have some of my content here and just say like, hey there, eager to hear from you, so on and so forth. Once that's done, hit add. Again, over here, I can either create another like call task for myself, a custom task or a LinkedIn task, or I can just go ahead and add something, usually sales cadences go on for about 30 days. So I can add something that's happening another 10 days from now and so on. So once this is done, I can either just leave it as is, or I can share it with specific teams. And then from that point onwards, they will be able to access the email as well. And the best part is when I come back here, I can always see, some high level of analytics where how many emails were sent, how often was it used, or as a marketer, I just want to see like, hey, have they added several people to this campaign? Is it being used at all? So all of this information would be available here.
Great, thank you, Ambika. That concludes the questions in the chat for now.
So I mentioned this briefly at the beginning of my demo, but this is a feature that is now in phased rollout. But if you or anyone from your team is interested in this specific feature set, please do reach out to us. I'll plug in our email address in the chat. And I'll also plug in some landing pages and tutorials that you can take a look at and socialize within your teams. So once you reach out to us, we will enable this feature for you, and then you will be able to start using it. Also, since this is a fairly new feature set, the product team, so that's Andy, Paul, and myself, are more than happy to hop on calls with you and help you get set up and get started. So it's a seamless onboarding process for you. It doesn't look like we have any other questions, so I guess that kind of comes to the end of this demo of MSI Actions.
Yeah, Ambika, can I re-emphasize the point that you made earlier, just for clarity here? So as Ambika mentioned, MSI Actions is an enhancement to MSI, Marketo Sales Insight within Salesforce, and it is included as part of MSI license. So we are currently rolling it out in a phased manner. If you want early access, please reach out to Ambika and Andy.
Awesome. And I did see one more question from Rebecca. Are there materials available for training and onboarding?
Yes, we have a ton of materials available. I just plugged in our landing page, which has some great videos to get started, as well as our featured overview documents. And I'm also going to add a few other documents into the chat over here, so you'll be able to access it. Kelsey, I can also share it with you, so you'll be able to send it out to everyone who's attended this call.
Perfect. That would be great. Thank you so much.
I'm also plugging in the email address that you can use to reach out to the product team directly. So through this, we will get your emails, and then we can get you started with the onboarding and provisioning process.
Great. Well, if there are no further questions, I just want to thank you again, Ambika, for your time, and everyone else who joined this call. That concludes the session for today. Please reach out if you have any further questions, and the recording will be posted to the event page. So once again, make sure that you subscribe to that chapter and you'll be alerted when the recording is posted. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.